They are the fastest and newest regional rail vehicles in all of Victoria, and they are V-Line's flagship trains. They have been manufactured continuously since 2004 by Bombardier and now Alstom. These are the V-Line Velocity trains. In today's video, we have a look at their history, such as their liveries, appearances, service life, and operational challenges they've faced over the past few years. To honour a commitment made when it was awarded the V-Line franchise, National Express requested tenders in early 2000 for 29 two-carriage diesel multiple units. This was later extended to 38 diesel multiple units, however. These new diesel multiple unit trains were to be purchased as part of the Regional Fast Rail project, which was being undertaken by the state government from 2000 to 2006. These new trains were based heavily on New South Wales Explorer and Endeavour rail cars. The first of these new trains, which we now know today as the V-Line Velocities, were introduced on the Ararat line on December 22, 2005. In February and September of 2006, the Velocity trains were introduced on the Geelong, Bendigo, Traralgon and Seymour lines. V-Line introduced a new timetable in September of 2006, allowing the V-Line Velocities to finally operate at their service speed of 160 km an hour in July of 2008, following a level crossing accident that killed 2 people on the Ararat line and increasing patronage from the Regional Fast Rail project. The state government ordered new free carriage Velocity trains, and the livery on V-Line's Velocities would also be altered to increase visibility at railway crossings. After the first 38 Velocity trains were delivered, 2 more were delivered, bringing the total in service to 40. Then in June 2010, a brand new free-car Velocity, number VL42, was released in the V-Line Mark III livery, and until 2014, newer Velocity sets would be delivered in this same livery. Starting in 2014, newer Velocity trains would be delivered in the V-Line PTV Purple Shards livery. The design of the V-Line Velocity would also serve as the basis for the Transperth B series, the Adelaide Metro 4000 class, and the Queensland Rail New Generation rolling stock. Since 2011, the Victorian state government every few years or so has been placing more and more orders for more and more free car Velocity trains. Unfortunately, in January 2016, V-Line removed approximately a quarter of the Velocity fleet from service after identifying unusually high rates of wheel wear to wheel flanges. V-Line had no choice but to cancel nearly 70 services from mid-January. However, luckily, everything was back under control after Bombardier increased its capacity to remachine the affected wheels. In May 2018, V-Line's last ever two-carriage Velocity was finally converted into a three-carriage Velocity. Since 2004, Bombardier and now Alstom have manufactured a total of 418 Velocity carriages, making up a total of 138 free-car Velocities, with 9 more carriages currently under construction by Alstom. In August 2019, a new cab design was unveiled on a new Velocity train, and since then, any new free-carriage V-Line Velocities have been delivered with this cab design, and it's to help improve crashworthiness. Then in 2021, V-Line unveiled this special advertising livery supporting Pride on Velocity set VL82, and yes, this livery was on a free carriage Velocity. Now, people tend to hate this one, but I don't know why. In 2018, Matthew Guy announced that if elected to the government, would order 16 6-car Velocity sets for dedicated long-distance operations with catering and first-class facilities. However, the coalition did not win the election. In May of that same year, 2 of the free return services on the Bairnsdale line were replaced by Velocity trains. All services on the Bairnsdale line are now replaced by long-distance Velocity trains. In 2021, 6 new Velocity trains started entering service on the Albury line. However, the Albury line is standard gauge and the rest of the V-line network is broad gauge, so the Albury line pretty much received its own dedicated standard gauge Velocity fleet. However, the Albury line's standard gauge Velocity trains are the only V-line Velocities to have buffet facilities. When V-Line's first Velocity trains were rolled out in 2006, this is the interior they had at the time. However, it's not great in my opinion. Black isn't a very good seat cover, and why the handholds green instead of yellow. And I believe in 2008 they began refurbishing some Velocity trains, having new seat covers matching the ones on the V-Line N-set carriages and V-Line Sprinter rail motors. The only Velocity sets with V-Line still retaining this interior currently are number VR76, 77, 78, and 79. From 2019 to 2022, V-Line began refurbishing the Velocity trains once again with new PDV purple seat covers, priority seating areas, and new yellow handholds. So, what does the future hold for the V-Line's Velocity trains? Well, they currently operate on the entire V-Line network except for the Swan Hill line and some services to and from Seymour. And hopefully the last 9 carriages still in production at Dandenong workshops should be rolling out of Dandenong and out onto the V-Line network next year. Hopefully in February next year, and it should be until next year or the year after next year that long-distance Velocity trains will officially be introduced on the V-Line Swan Hill line, replacing the current N-class locomotive haul trains that currently operate on V-Line Swan Hill line.